Jim Janossy. I'm going to show you how to make a USB phone. This is a phone that you plug into the computer and then you can dial through the internet, voice over IP, to make calls anywhere in the United States or Canada for free. This relies on the MagicJack, and I'm going to show you how to do something pretty neat with it. Okay, here we've got an ordinary phone. Here we are. You see? Just a little, sort of a slimline phone. This is a Uniden phone. I bought this at Fry's Electronics for $7.99. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, is take a look at where it normally plugs into the wall. This is a USB connector. Interesting. This telephone could be plugged into a computer and thus make phone calls dialed right here with this through the internet. Now, of course, it didn't come from Fry's this way. In fact, the way it came from Fry's, I'm going to turn this over. The way it came from Fry's, from Uniden, it looked something like this on the back. This plastic strip is removable with two Phillips screws here, and I removed it, and I discovered that there was enough room to put a MagicJack inside of it, laid flat. If I cleaned off a little bit of a plastic enclosure there, a little bit of a plastic protrusion, this fit very well. So all I did actually was to take this piece of plastic here, which has a number of things on the back that fill up the void, and I cut the ends off of it here, this end and this end, and then removed some of the extraneous plastic underneath so that I could reattach these two here just to have these little feet give support, and also to have them hold in the wires, in this case a USB extension cable, and in this case just the plug-in from the telephone handset. Now, this is a very nice telephone because you see the handset has this curlicue cord on it, and then normally this long straight wire just goes straight into this plug. There is no wiring in this plastic holder. This is just the place, the phone cradle, where the phone sits. So this particular model of a Uniden, and I don't happen to have the model number, but you can perhaps find something like this similar, if not the same model. What you're looking for is a phone that has the curlicue cord go straight into the plug for the wall, like this. That way you can remove the entire cord like this from the enclosure, and it becomes just a very long cord on your handset. But what you want to do then, in finding a phone like this, is to find one where the base has enough room to accommodate the MagicJack. And you can see here, this one is just deep enough that the MagicJack fits fully enclosed. If you take off whatever kind of a strip is normally provided here with these holes to attach this to the wall. And in this case, very serendipitously, I could remove the ends of this strip here by cutting it off with a hacksaw blade and trimming away a little bit of the plastic on either side, so that when I put the MagicJack in here, this end that has the USB extension cable is held down by this remaining piece and the little screw in here, and this side functions simply to provide these feet and provide a little bit of support for the wire here. Now, this holding down the wire on this side, this holding down this connector on that side, means that this is pretty rigidly in place. It's not attached at all. If I remove those screws, I could remove that MagicJack. But now, when this sits down, it sits level. The phone sits within it. This piece of plastic is just thrown away, and I can plug this into a computer that's talking to the internet anywhere, and I can then dial calls here on this handset as usual. Or I can activate them from the MagicJack software on the computer. Now, I've tried this out. This particular setup, I've tried out in a variety of places. I, of course, could use it on my own computer at home hooked up to the internet, but I've also taken it to work where we have high-speed internet at DePaul University, plug this into a computer sitting on my desk, and talk through that internet connection to make phone calls through the telephone. This is a fantastic little thing to do, to package it up this way. I was looking for a little handset, the lightest one possible, and it turns out this little Uniden handset is about as light as I can find and still very comfortable, more or less normal size. Works very well for the purpose, costs $7.99 in combination with an extension cord like this, a USB extender, and a MagicJack. It's a very handy thing, and it isn't unreasonable to even consider carrying it around, so you have the ability to make phone calls without much expense at all. Well, if this has been useful to you, that's very good, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye-bye.